It was 1899 when Dr. Elias Whitmore, a young and ambitious scientist, found himself on the outskirts of Lemoyne. Elias had dedicated his life to understanding human behavior, particularly the fine line between morality and survival. His experiments often involved long interviews with individuals from various walks of life, outlaws, lawmen, and common folk. But he never imagined he'd one day sit face to face with one of the West's most infamous outlaws, Arthur Morgan. The encounter wasn't planned. Elias had set up a small camp near the swamps to observe local communities. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a towering figure on horseback approached his tent. Arthur Morgan, weary and bleeding from a gunshot wound, dismounted. "You got anything for this?" Arthur muttered, holding his side. His piercing gaze carried both exhaustion and suspicion. Elias, though startled, quickly recognized an opportunity. "Come in, let me take a look," he replied, gesturing toward the tent. As Elias cleaned and stitched the wound, he asked cautiously, "What brought you here?" Arthur smirked faintly, wincing as the needle pierced his skin. "Wrong place, wrong time, story of my life." Over the next few days, as Arthur recovered, the two men began talking. Elias was fascinated by Arthur's life, his loyalty to the Van der Linde gang, his struggles with his own moral code, and the choices that had shaped him. Arthur, though initially guarded, found himself opening up. "You think people can change?" Arthur asked one night, staring at the fire. Elias paused, considering his words. "I believe everyone has the capacity to change, but it's not easy. It takes a powerful reason, a turning point." Arthur's jaw tightened. "Turning point, huh? I guess I've had a few of those. Still feel like I'm just stuck." Elias saw something in Arthur, a man torn between the life he was born into and the man he wanted to be. What if you could be remembered for something more? For helping someone or for standing for something bigger than yourself? Arthur scoffed, but his eyes betrayed a flicker of hope. "Big talk, Doc. Not sure I've got the time to figure all that out." As the days passed, Elias shared his observations and theories about human behavior, morality, and redemption. He encouraged Arthur to see his life not as a series of mistakes, but as a journey where every choice mattered. Before parting ways, Elias handed Arthur a small notebook. "Write in this," he said, "your thoughts, your regrets, your hopes. You may not think it now, but your story matters. It might even inspire someone else someday." Arthur took the notebook, nodding silently. He didn't say much, but his expression spoke volumes. Years later, after Arthur Morgan's passing, Elias found himself reading about the outlaw's final days. Stories of a man who had tried to do right by others, who had saved lives and stood against injustice, filled the newspapers. Elias smiled sadly, holding the notebook Arthur had filled with reflections. It was a testament to a man who had found his turning point, proof that even in the harshest of worlds, redemption was possible.